Hi guys, welcome to my channel. In this video, I'm going to be talking to you about a news article that I recently read. It is very sad and also very frightening at the same time. It is about Chinese students who are deliberately failing their exams, and also there are pictures of it. You can Google it. There are pictures of students who are throwing their degrees in the dustbin, and I also read that they are not attending classes, switching off their mobile phones on the day of the exam. And the reason is to stay for another year in college. They want to stay in college. Now, this is because of the growing unemployment rates in China. It is said that more than 20% of the youth there, that is around 6 million of the graduates, are unemployed in China. Now we know that India has recently become the most populated country in the world, leaving behind China. And this trend seems to be catching on here also. Many of the graduates here are also unemployed and jobless. So, today, let me look at the reasons why. But before that, I want to tell you about a lifestyle trend that is recently becoming more popular in China. It started in China in the year 2021, and it's called the laying flat trend. Now, this laying flat trend is known as Tang Ping, I think, in Mandarin, and it's very popular. This is because of the people who are unable to catch up with the daily struggles of the modern life. We all know in this world there is growing pressure and this rat race to always work hard, always compete with others. And there's also the culture which is called the 996 culture in China, which means people have to work from basically 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. for 6 days a week. Can you believe it? And with the Chinese parents continuing with their tiger parenting style, where they put immense academic pressure on their children. And not only do they expect them to go to school till 4 p.m., but after that, go for tuition, and at the same time, also excel in extracurricular activities like music or dance. And they expect these children to be good at all of them. So many people are actually following the laying flat trend. In this trend, people do the bare minimum of what they need for living. They are quitting marriage, relationships, they are not going to have children, they're not going to buy homes or cars. They're going to do the bare minimum that it takes to survive life. Many of them are taking like seasonal jobs or becoming daily wage workers, and the Chinese government is actually very upset about this trend, but the graduates don't want to listen. And India is also, I think, going to take the same direction within the end of this decade, probably because of some flaws in our Indian education system that I'm going to talk about in this video. And here are my main points about why I think unemployment rate is growing in India also. So I have my notes here and I'm going to be looking down from time to time. So if I'm looking here, then that's what I'm looking at. My first point would be underemployment. People are not getting the jobs that they have studied for, or maybe they are overly educated for the jobs. Today, many of the high paying, high skill jobs are being replaced by AI, and this is the truth, because of which many people have settled for underpaying jobs, but the majority of them don't want to settle because they have spent a lot studying their degrees. So now they don't want to settle for the jobs that are being offered. Now, these jobs are like basic skill jobs, it can be food delivery or call center executives or maybe some delivery agents. And I don't think many people are going to go in for it, and that is what the trends are also reflecting, and even the numbers are reflecting the same. And my second point would be oversaturation in some fancy fields. Now, even you might have observed a few years back, there was this trend of a lot of people after their 12th going in for IT. Everybody was going in for information technology, and there is oversaturation of people only in certain sectors. Nobody wants to take up arts or humanities, everybody wants to take up engineering and medicine. So obviously, if there are more engineering graduates, people are not going to get jobs because there are so many graduates for one job. If 200 people are competing, 199 people are going to be unemployed. So it's with oversaturation, and this oversaturation, I think, is mainly because of the mindset of, it may be students, it may be parents who want to go in for traditional jobs like medicine or engineering. Where I'm from in India, it can be something else where you're from. And also there's a hype with writing competitive exams here, mainly the UPSC and IIT JEE and even NEET. All the students want to clear only these three competitive exams, and they are willing to spend and take drops of several years to pass them. Now, I don't know how many of these people actually want to be doctors or engineers, but if they are doing it because everybody else is doing it, their neighbor is doing it, their cousins are doing it, even you may be doing it for the same reasons, but because everybody want to go into like three jobs or four jobs, there's a oversaturation, and obviously you're not going to be getting enough jobs. And my third reason would be the people who have already graduated in India are not skilled enough to take up the jobs. And this I think everybody can relate with, because education system in India mainly deals with theoretical knowledge. They basically want to know if you can memorize, pages and pages together, and if you can just reproduce them in the paper as it is. There is no scope for creativity and thinking. Like, most people just memorize pages. I'm guilty of it. I have done it. I've memorized books together and reproduced them in exam papers, and now I don't remember a word of what I've written. So when education system is like this, where you're just memorizing things, you're not going to be very skilled for practical knowledge. So many of the graduates, even in our country, are not skilled enough to take up the jobs later on. And this is a very growing problem, because today the best example would be engineering graduates who are doing everything except engineering. Most of them are in different jobs which has got nothing to do with their degree, but they are unemployed because they are not skilled enough in their field. The next problem is the curriculum, which is very old and outdated, and the teachers have been teaching the same thing for several generations, and nothing seems to change. Modern science and technology has advanced, but our textbooks are still stuck where they were 10 or 20 years ago. So, obviously, students are not going to be skilled enough for the new advancements that take place in the job sector. My next point is the campus. Here, if you have capital and if you have influence, anybody can open a private college. There is no need for you to have follow, some guidelines, have some facilities, nothing. If you have capital and influence, you can own a private college. And graduates from these private colleges, I don't think, are skilled enough when they graduate to take up jobs, because they are only taught theory knowledge and they don't have enough practical knowledge. Because I don't know, the laboratories may be under equipped, or the teachers may be not good enough. The next problem is AI, which is replacing human jobs. This is happening. This is happening everywhere, and it is also reflecting in the recent trend where software engineers were being laid off by their companies. Several of these software engineers have actually been laid off by big tech giant companies, and it's happening. And this is inevitable. Science is going to advance, and AI is also going to advance, and our jobs are definitely going to be replaced. Here also in India, the unemployment rate is at about 7.8%, around there. And I think something needs to be corrected. I read somewhere that the success of the coaching industry is directly proportional to the failure of the Indian education system. I think a lot needs to be done in terms of our education system. It's very monotonous, very boring, and I don't think whatever is being taught to us, it's really applicable in real life. outdated teaching, and no proper practical methodologies are being taught. It's just only memorizing stuff and rewriting them on a paper. I don't think so it's going to work. So, in terms of solutions, I think in today's day and age, our traditional degrees no longer hold the value that they did maybe 10 or 20 years ago. So, today the economy is more skill based, that is more than very high degrees. Our skills are what is going to be paid for. So, if we have to catch up with this growing economy, then we might need to develop skills also other than just degrees. So, the trend of the great resignation in the US and UK, quiet quitting, and now laying flat in China, all of these are somewhere reflecting the flaws in the education system. A very wise person in the comment section of this news article had actually commented, school is a business, and what you do after school is none of the school's business. And he's right. So, if you like this video, then do leave your opinions below.